Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson, and I'm here to give you a review and recap of the Doom Patrol pilot. And if you haven't seen these episodes, you might want to come back later because there will be spoilers. Right off the bat, really quick, before we start, if you like this review, if you're interested in this, podcasts, reviews, written articles, all kinds of cool stuff, don't forget to check out majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where we love comics and we know that you do too, for all kinds of awesome content. Folks, girls, guys, people of indeterminate in-between genders, we have a Doom Patrol show on the DC Universe app about to drop, and I'm so excited to talk to you about the screeners that I got to see. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a mixed bag on Titans, so I didn't go into Doom Patrol with a ton of enthusiasm, but why not check it out, right? We want all things to be good, we experience all the things. I think the Doom Patrol pilot, it's so good. The tone is so wild and so wacky, and the show is so out there and so unlike anything else that we're used to seeing in the larger DC TV universe and then in the larger genre show, that I think it's actually something incredibly special. I don't think it has the same social resonance as something like Black Lightning, but Black Lightning felt very singular when it came out. In a lot of ways, it felt like it broke the mold from, again, what we were used to seeing from the pantheon of DC TV offerings, and I think that Doom Patrol does that in the same way. These are narrated by Alan Tudyk's character. I said there would be spoilers, but I'll try not to go into too much detail of that. I understand the narrative device because without him, the shows are very serious. They're very dour because these characters have suffered a lot of trauma. His narration brings a lot of levity to it. I think that is a reaction to the tone that Titans struck and the criticism that Titans might have been a little too serious given the characters and given the subject matter that they were tackling. I don't know. At times I think the narration really works. At other times I think it's too silly. I think if you like things like Deadpool, I think this is going to really strike that same tone. And I appreciate, because this is Doom Patrol is probably most well known for its Grant Morrison run, and I think the fact that they leaned into that meta-narrative, that narrative within the narrative, I think it's really, really smart. Speaking of Grant Morrison, we have a ton of Grant Morrison characters and a ton of references. Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol run starts with issue 19 in the 80s. And from that first issue, there's a ton of scenes that are just plucked right out and put on the screen. For example, Crazy Jane is a part of the show. She's a Grant Morrison creation. The scene where she's painting in the rain with Robotman that you can see in his Doom Patrol run is lifted directly to the scene that you see on the show. I love moments like that. I love when we see actual references, direct lifts from the comic books, and I think that's where this show is going to set itself apart from other things that are on this network. Young Justice and Titans are a mishmash of some of the most popular storylines, but for Doom Patrol to be able to specifically reference a scene like that and have it emotionally resonate is really, really powerful, and part of that comes down to the absolutely incredible casting. Now, there are two very important characters that are basically played by two people. So Larry Trainor, Negative Man, is voiced by Matt Bomer, and he is given body by Matthew Zuck. You see Matt Bomer in the flashbacks, and then Matthew Zuck is the guy you see under the bandages the whole time. It's actually really clever because then Matt Bomer doesn't have to go to Georgia and he can just stay back and record his lines and ADR and all that. And it's the same thing with Robotman. Robotman is voiced by Brendan Fraser himself, and Riley Shanahan provides the body actually inside the suit. I think his suit mostly works. There are a couple scenes where I don't think it works. Again, Brendan Fraser does play Cliff in the flashbacks. I'm going to admit, I wasn't excited when Brendan Fraser was cast, and I am very happy to say that I was wrong. He is wonderful in the show. The juxtaposition of who he is in his real life versus who he becomes through the trials of being Robotman, from learning to walk again to dealing with what his identity means 30-some years later, is very powerful. I'm also a sucker for a father-daughter or surrogate father-daughter relationship. So his relationship to his own daughter and his developing relationship with Crazy Jane, I think is something that I'm going to really, really enjoy over the course of this season. He's also the character that they like to use to remind you that this is a streaming show. We don't have to follow standards and practices, because he sure do swear a lot. That's cute. I would probably like that device more if I were a 14-year-old boy, but I get it. You want to show that you can do things that you might not be able to do on a traditional network, and Robotman is the filter that they're choosing to do it through. I was surprised that he wound up elevating himself as a character from just being the guy who says the F word a lot, and he actually carries, in my opinion, the majority of the emotional heart. It's something that I was shocked with coming from this particular character. Matt Bomer, personally, I believe, has influenced Larry's storyline, because we learn in the flashbacks that not only did he lose his whole life, but that he was secretly gay. And Matt Bomer is very open, and he's a great advocate for gay rights and the LGBTQIA+ rainbow. So I like that. I like folding in parts of the actors' lives, if that's important to their identity, to the characters. It opens up Larry Trainor to really interesting territory that we've not explored, and it diversifies the show. I think the way they show his powers of the entity inside himself versus the physical body is clever. April Bowlby as Elasti-Girl really, again, like Brendan Fraser as Robotman, elevates a character that a lesser actress would fall into cliches with. You understand her motivations, even when, especially in the flashbacks, she's being kind of terrible, and you can really empathize with her as she struggles to literally hold herself together. And Elasti-Girl is the heart of this team. When you look at her in the Titans episode, you can see that they're planting the seeds that they are, particularly in her relationship with Gar. That is because in the comic, she's classically his mom. That's not how it is in the TV show. That's fine. I'm looking forward to her getting a classic hero's journey and really coming into her own over the course of this season. Some of the best costuming choices are on Elasti-Girl. Rita wears variations of her classic red and white costumes as either dresses or as like capri outfits. And I like the subtle homage, because she's the only one that doesn't really have a uniform. The places that their conflict are coming from are clever, they're silly, they're inventive, and they're something that we're not used to seeing from the DC TV universe. I think it's going to be a divisive show. I think people are either going to really, really embrace the weirdness and embrace the Grant Morrison-ness of it all. There were no scissor men, but there is a farting donkey, and it's not stupid. Can you believe it? It's not stupid. Or I think people are going to come kind of hard against it and reject it, because this ain't The Flash, and it's nothing like that, and it's not trying to be like that. I'm hoping people come to it with open arms, because I really, really want to see more of this universe. So on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, with 1 being the best and 5 being the worst, I'm going to give an overall rating to this debut of Doom Patrol. Guys, my expectations for Doom Patrol were so low. They were all blown out of the water, and I'm enthused to see more of it. I don't know if there's anything better that a pilot could do for you, so I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 stars. I am dying to see where this incredibly weird show is going to go, and just how many episodes they managed to snag Timothy Dalton for. Just a reminder, if you like this video, to visit us at majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where we love comics, and we know that you do too. I've been Ashley Victoria Robinson. You can follow me on Twitter at Ashley V. Robinson. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe and make good choices.